All right, guys, we're back. I'm George Mossey. This is Marshana Dahlia's Favento. This is part 2, 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, season 3, episode 5. So much has happened. I think we're going to, actually in this one, we're going to get to the most crazy moment of the night. That's going to be at the end. So let's talk about Jenny and Sumit. So Jenny actually ended up liking the Hare Krishna Temple, the church that she originally thought about scamming. She decided that she really enjoys it and she wants to be a part of it, which I thought was a really good plot twist, because she was just looking for a way to stay in the country. And then she realized that this situation and this church are something that she can use together to get inner peace. So I was really happy that she found that, because religion is a very good place to find peace. And she is definitely not finding peace in India right now, as we know that Sumit's brother's wife, Shri, is pregnant. And there's all these celebrations and things that they do to celebrate new life. And Jenny fears that she's not going to be accepted into those celebrations. And she's right. His family feel the same way.
The family was very clear. The family was very clear. She can be accepted and welcome at, these family events, but as Sumit's friend, okay? Not as his life partner, fiance, bride, wife, none of those things. I have to say, I do support Sumit's mom. If it were my son, if it were my Luciano in a situation like that, I'm going to do everything I can. These children don't know what they want in life, okay? Sometimes you have to help them out. Now, I'm not saying that they should do what they did in his first marriage, which is dictate who he should marry, and then he's stuck in a loveless, very pain-inducing marriage. But this relationship, how does it benefit either one of them? Forget just Sumit. Okay, it doesn't benefit Sumit, but how does this benefit you, Jenny? I'm really trying to figure out every single week, what are they getting out of this? I cannot make sense of it. Again, I'm not a licensed mental health counselor, so maybe I can't figure it out, but I am not understanding. If you all at home and everyone who watches this podcast, if you understand, please tweet me, at me, because I need help.
I agree. I'm trying to understand what's holding her there, because she's had enough things to give her a reason to leave. So it has to be something that we're not seeing. And as far as I know, she is the one paying for their home, because Sumit used to live with his family, and in his culture, that's completely normal. Until you get married, you live with your family. So she's actually paying for him to live with her, and she's doing everything for them. So I can't understand what exactly it is that she's getting out of the situation. And she's adamant on staying, because she's had every opportunity. And every episode she says, I'm sick of this and I'm tired of this. And Jenny, you're not sick of this. I actually saw on Instagram today that she got a job as a concierge at one of the hotels in India. So she is working. So a lot of speculation is coming up on Instagram and Twitter, because in order for her to work in that country, she would need to be a resident of that country. So people are making some speculations on maybe he did marry her. So we're going to have to see what happens later in the season, because I'm interested in knowing, first of all, Jenny's retired. So first of all, why are you working? Second of all, how are you working in India? Because you're on a tourist visa. So there is something that we're going to find out, I believe, later in this season. And I'm interested in knowing, because this story is just intriguing, but it's also tired. I'm getting tired of it. And Jenny, you should be tired of it too. Okay, so Ellie arrives in Providencia. So she was in San Andreas, which was the island closest to where she was going. And it's a 4-hour boat ride. So she took the boat ride with Victor, and she actually saw the destruction. And it was worse than everybody thought. When I saw this video of this place, it was hard to believe that that was a paradise island that people vacationed at. And it's just terrifying at how these people lost literally everything. And Ellie is there, and she's trying to help. She bought supplies for Victor's family and his sister and her kids, and she's trying to help. But at the same time, she's looking at this place and she's like, this is now my life. And she's having second thoughts, which I think is human, because you want to start and build a new life, and you do want to do it with the person you want to be with, but you also want to be at a place that is livable. And the infrastructure is really bad. There's a 4-hour boat ride, and there's no Uber, there's no ways to get around. And she's just looking at how this is going to affect her and how she's going to be able to take care of herself.
Well, I mean, hurricane withstanding, right? This is life in Providencia. There is no Uber and there is no hospital, she said, and there's not any care. So the hurricane is absolutely devastating, and the way it just kind of obliterated everything is very heart-wrenching. But in the same breath, even on its best day in Providencia, it doesn't have the creature comforts that she has become accustomed to living in Seattle. So it was going to be an adjustment, no matter how you slice it. And then you add the hurricane to it, and it just makes the problem, or makes it a problem. I think this is part of Victor's plan all along. I think Victor really wants to come to the United States. I think he knew that even if there wasn't a hurricane, once Ellie came to live in Providencia, that it would be very hard for her. No hot water, cold showers. If she would eventually give up, she would probably marry him in Providencia, give up, and then bring him to the United States. I think this is just his roundabout way to get himself to the United States. Oh yeah, come here, live with me. I'll build this house. It'll be great. He knows all along that it's not going to work for her, and that he really wants to be in the United States. Mark my words.
I am. I'm going to see how this goes, because I don't see her living there. And even his house that they were living in, it wasn't hit as bad. But even in the condition that it was in, I didn't see how Ellie was going to be able to make that work. And that's, so I actually want to see how your story pans out, because I actually agree. So let's talk about the craziest moment of the show last night. So Steven and Alina have been in Turkey for 2 days. And the scene that just caught everybody's attention was, he said that I like to hitchhike. And while hitchhiking, he walks out literally into traffic and stops a car and says, "Are you going this way?" And they get in. And we're watching Alina in literally terrified fear say, "Are you seriously saying that we're going to get into this car?" And she realizes at that moment that this is probably a horrible mistake that she has made, and she has no idea who this man is. And if he thinks that this is something safe that you should be doing, she is almost ready to just rethink this whole situation.
I mean, this is unfortunate, right? Because as a man traveling alone, he shouldn't do that. And then as a man traveling with your fiance, who I would hope that you want to protect and keep safe, it's even worse. So even if he were by himself, this is a bad decision, but this is a really bad decision. I think one of the most important things, there are several things that are important in being a couple and in relationship and in marriage, but I think one of the things that matter the most is protecting each other in the best way that you can, keeping each other safe. You know, I think safety is such a big deal, and what he's doing is not only putting himself in danger, it's putting Alina in danger. If Alina's mother, you know, saw what you were doing or knew what you were doing, would she be okay with that? Would you be okay with, if your mom, if his own parents even knew what he was up to, would they be okay with this? I think he's being very reckless. I don't know. Sometimes I think, again, like, what is this? Can we diagnose what this is? Because I can't.
Right.
Because there's something terribly off to me about Steven.
Speaking of that, they went to see the immigration lawyer, and it appears that they are both in Turkey and had done zero research at what their process would be to get married, to get citizenship, to move back to Russia. They literally had no idea what they were doing, and they were already there, which brings me back to, are we missing a few screws? Like, how would you fly to a foreign country and you have no plan? You have not filled out any applications. You don't even know what forms that you need to get done what you're doing. And it just makes you wonder, what's going on? Like, who does this?
Apparently these two young children, right? They're very, very young. And even though you're a child, if you're making a very adult decision to get married, I would hope that you are prepared. If you say you want to get married and you want to move countries, and these are major things, right? Some of the biggest stressors in life are getting married or getting into a partnership or moving to another country. They're doing a lot at a really young age, really soon, and it doesn't seem like they're prepared to do any of the above.
None of it. Alina's the only one who even seems to be ready to be married. When the lawyer said, you need to get married right now so you can start this process, Stephen had such apprehension. He's like, right this second? That's a big decision. And I'm thinking, like, right, the only reason why you're in Turkey is to get married. So for someone to say you need to get married and it shocks you, shows you that there's some screws missing. There's not something there. The only reason you're even there is to do that. So when somebody solidifies your plan and it bothers you, there's something going on. So I really can't wait to see what goes on. And Alina even thinks that he's cheating. I don't think that he's cheating. I think that he's just not all there. I don't want to say anything.
Oh, I know he's cheated. I know he has.
You know?
I know
Really?
he said he said that she said, and he said that he asked her to see other people.
But you think
He
he's
did.
cheating
He kissed them,
currently?
but he said he doesn't know how to tell her that he's not a virgin, that he's not kept the vows of the church. And I
But
think
yeah,
that
but
when he
I'm
was
thinking before. I was thinking before. You
nah,
think that?
I think when he asked to see other people, listen, I'm betting this wig that he was cheating on her with these people. I guarantee that's the secret. I guarantee.
Well, now I want to know. All right, guys, that's it for part 2. If you guys think Steven is cheating, could you please comment below? And if you think that Alina is just being paranoid, also comment that below, because that's where I'm at. I think she's being paranoid. I just don't see how Steven has all these women lined up. So that's it for part 2. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Marshana Dahlia. Make sure you live tweet with us every Sunday night. We are always there. We will always be talking about it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you guys real soon.